And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Do you believe it or not? Wednesday, the 10th of August, as school is back in. Kids are roaming the street everywhere today. And I want you to be careful on that. And I brought that up in the comments there. If school buses are going, it's a new time for them, a new school year. Sometimes they get excited and will dart across streets and roads. Keep that in mind. We would never want anything to happen to our youngsters in the area as we begin another school year. We certainly hope it's going to be a safe one, and just want to remind you of that. Seen that kids just get excited and run, especially when they're getting off school buses and they see their puppy dogs and all that, and they get running to be happy to get home. So keep it in mind, whether it's morning, noon, or night. We are into Wednesday as we begin this and expect rain today. 70% chance is what we've got in the forecast. Could be locally heavy, some flash flooding, sometimes 2 to 3 inches within an hour. That's what we've got forecasted for this afternoon. We'll look at that later. It should happen after 2 o'clock this afternoon. We'll give you complete details of what the forecast will be here in just a little bit. But a glimpse as we look at radar this morning, as we go to Meridian Honda radar, we're showing showers on the coast here, pretty heavy down around Biloxi. If you're in that area this morning, be careful there. Hovering a little bit there around the eastern side of Clark County, we have a few showers this morning. If you're in this area east of Shibuda, as we move up, we do have showers around Starkville this morning. We've got a few moving into the Ackerman area and Kosciuszko just east of there. Nothing in the Meridian area at the moment. We had some earlier, with a little bit of fog back over here in Arkansas as we see this, and a few showers north of Tuscaloosa. Nothing serious at the time. We'll watch this. Look here off the coast here in the Gulf of Mexico. Also, we'll get into what's happening with the tropics. Big discussion of that as we watch this as the countdown. This goes on until November the 1st, of course, hurricane season. We hadn't really had any serious threat to our area. We've got something floating out there. It doesn't look serious, but we got at least 14 storms that they say may happen this year. A lot of time to get that in. We'll watch that. Get deeper into that here in just a moment. As we start our stories this morning of thoughts, headlines of what's going on in our area, we turn to what's been going on last night. If you've looked at our Facebook page this morning, let me hit a couple of buttons here so we can show this. We did have one person grazed by gunfire last night. As we pull this up to take a look, and this is the scene of this. One person grazed. As we look at this, let me move over to the map where you can see this pretty good to understand where this is. Let's pull this map up, get you a better view of where we're talking about. As you come across, this is I-20 here. This is going to be exit 152 right here, just north of here on the right-hand side of the road. This is Sawashi Creek. Right in here would be the old mall. West of Taylor & Sons, back in here, is where the shooting took place. And again, as I labeled it, it was grazed. From what I'm understanding, someone was sitting on their front porch. Gunfire broke out, and they were just grazed. It wasn't serious. Does it matter? Yes, in one degree of you say, yes, it matters that someone was shot. What I mean by that is gunfire still happened. It's still a concern in our area is what I mean by that. Let me clarify myself before I get jumped on. We don't like this, do we? Not at all. Thank heavens this was just something small and it wasn't bigger. That's the good news and the moral to that story. We don't like it. Meridian police responded. They did find some kale chasings in this, and then an ongoing investigation is going into this as they try to put the pieces. Sometimes it takes months to link somebody to a crime. Let's hope they're caught. Not good for someone to be shot minding their own business on their porch, is it? I don't think so, and you don't either. Those are a few of the things that went on. All right, as we dig deeper into news and headlines that are going on in the area, let me check some of my notes here. Let's see here, 16th Street. I want to say we also had some gunshots reported in that area as well. We did. Let's start at King Road. We had this several places yesterday as we go here to take a look. Gunshots were reported, and this is going to be south of North Hill Street. Here's King Road. This would be south of here. Let's zoom in on this where you can see. Here's right here is where you're going to find North Crest Baptist Church. This would be west of there, due south on King Road, right down in here. Gunshots were heard. Now, in that area, no one was hurt. Thank heavens. We can all be thankful for that as things go on. And as I mentioned, another place that happened yesterday, 6th Avenue. We had shots there. 31st Street and 6th Avenue. As we pull this up to take a look, again, same situation. No one was hurt. Gunfire was heard, and this would be west of Highway 39 is where this would be. As you're coming up here, here's to the Toyota dealership. This would be west across the street, a few blocks back this way, back to the west there. Again, no one hurt, no one injured, but gunfire still happened in those areas as we look at that. Those were a few of the places that heard gunshots yesterday. I was double checking here. Yeah, we're all good on that. All right, let's just dance around. We got several things that went on yesterday. Let's see. As we know that there was an accident at Dalewood. No one was hurt, thank heavens on that. We had several wrecks throughout the area as we get deeper into this for today. Let me see here. We had an accident here on South Anderson Road yesterday. As we look at this would be Highway 45 North. And that heading is wrong. Made a mistake there on that type there. This is Chip Pickering Road. Here's Minnebucket Road. We had an accident there yesterday afternoon that involved a 18-wheeler coming along in an SUV and another car. Nothing serious, no injuries involved in that. That was the good news on that. We did have a wreck south of town yesterday afternoon. South Anderson Road. Also, a vehicle left the road as I was talking on that. No one seriously hurt in that either. That was good news. And this was the scene out at Dalewood where that happened there on the East Parkway South as we look at pictures of where incidents happened. Again, all of these ended with minor injuries, and thank heavens for that. Even as we looked at what happened as we were going on the air yesterday morning, Highway 80. Y'all remember that? Here we go. This was the truck that was hit. Well, it got slammed underneath that bridge. This was the scene of this. As we look, kind of folded that trailer. It didn't quite make it under the bridge. Right there in the background is the bridge. It was hauling paper products. At first, we thought there might be more to that with a chemical spill or something, but no, that was strictly just paper being transported in that. As we mention every day, there's always somebody's car stolen. We've got another one. There's a reward being offered here as we pull up this morning. Take a look. This was stolen yesterday afternoon, right around 4 o'clock from a gas station at 29th Avenue. It's a white 2017 Lexus RC Coupe. I've got a telephone number listed here if you happen to see this car. They sure would like to have it back. They went into the store, and when they come out, their car was gone. That's the way they work, always trying to take something. And when I say they, I mean criminals, as they try to take what's yours and make it theirs for a few hours anyway. We do hope the car is returned. Bad situation for something like that to happen there. As we start looking around, and we'll dig deeper this morning, make sure to come back at 8 o'clock as we'll get into what went on, and we'll go over some of the police reports of what's happened in our area here with the Meridian Police Department of thefts. Also, a lot of stolen cars. We'll get deeper into that this morning at 8 o'clock. Hope you'll join us so we can discuss all of that. As we look around the state, we start seeing, if you'll remember, the Ole Miss student that is presumed dead. For whatever reason, police have not released a lot of the information. It's an ongoing investigation. One person has been arrested. His lawyer continuously says that he will prove he's innocent. He went before a judge yesterday, and bond was denied. The judge felt there was enough evidence to hold the young man. Now, again, we're not told what that evidence is. There's a large crowd there shouting justice for Lee, of course. Lee is the young man that is missing from Ole Miss. A car was found, and that's about it. No body, but they've got something strong enough to know that something went on that we're just not aware of yet. We'll follow this case until more information comes out of this. Out of all the things that go on in the world, I always hate to report on things like this, to talk about them. It does exist, and well, the truth is the truth when you get into these things of why people would want to bother a church. Corinth, which is in the northeast corner of Mississippi, almost at the state line, but this happened. A 36-year-old woman went inside the church and just trashed it, tore it to pieces. They've got video of the whole thing. She's been arrested. Why would you want to do this to a church? I don't understand. The scene is atrocious of what she's done. Is we pull this up, Dark Horse Press, and this is Farmington Baptist Church in that community. Let me show you a picture of the way it looks after she visited the church. Look at that. That is church followers, parishioners, is that how you say that? Trying to do a cleanup. She just basically went through the entire church and done as much damage as she could. She's been arrested. She'll have to face them. I don't know what you get in court for doing that, but that's destroying property. Doesn't look good to the big man anyway, does it? I don't think so. Well, the next time in your Columbus, be aware of this. And I can remember as a kid, the first one being installed near our house. Speed bumps. Does anybody like them? I guess they're put in when people just excessively keep speeding. Well, they're going to be adding these to areas in downtown Columbus, Mississippi. So the next time you're visiting Columbus, be prepared to slow down or, well, have a missing oil pan, I guess is the word to say there. Dawn said the devil was in her. We kind of have to agree with that. So sad working for her father, Satan. That is true, Laura. Also, Jeremiah Johnson listing there who signed off on the Trump raid. We're going to discuss that this morning after 8 o'clock also. Does it make him bigger? There's a lot of people saying that, especially if they find nothing like all these past things, it will make Trump's movement even larger. We're watching it all. A body has been found in Jackson County. That's Moss Point. And on Moss Point, 39-year-old man has been arrested. Actually, let me back up on that. I messed up on this. It's a 39-year-old Moss Point man that's been identified. They don't have any clues as to who did it. He was found, and an investigation is underway. We have stories like this every day across the state of what happens. We'll never know he was found behind a home face down. One of the things that are happening there. I looked this up to be sure that I knew where I was talking about. Anybody ever heard of this little town? Let's pull this up here. This is going to be northeast of Tupelo, Mississippi. Anybody watching from the northern Mississippi area here? Manchee. This is going to be northeast of Tupelo, right there. Y'all see that little area there? Well, somebody decided to borrow the police car from the city and not tell them. He's gone to jail now. He went for a joyride, and they had to put out tack strips. As we all know, those spikes, they stopped him. The city will have to buy new tires for the car now. Joyriding in the police car. Doesn't sound too smart, does it? One person's been arrested in Wesson, Mississippi. As we look at this also, this is going to be South Mississippi. If you've never known, we're down around Brookhaven. As we look at this morning, right here is where this is. Here's Brookhaven. Here's Jackson, Mississippi. This would be due south of there as we go to our next headline this morning across the state of Mississippi. A man's been arrested. Why? Murder. A man was found dead. They've made an arrest on that in the small town there, just off Highway 51 in Wesson. It's more and more of this across the state, isn't it? It just goes to show it's not just our area that these things happen. Let's see here. If you're planning to go to Jackson this weekend, we brought this up a few weeks back that I-20 would be closed, a portion of it, and they postponed it, stopped that. That's going to happen this weekend on Saturday morning as they will start doing the repairs, and you'll have to go up 55, do a circle, and come back down on 20 to head toward Vicksburg. Be prepared for that delays. That will happen. That will slow traffic as it merges there on 55. As y'all well know how that works. Go up, take a loop, and come back. We'll post more information about that today where you'll have a map of that so you'll know exactly. As we talk to our friends over at Dark Horse Press in Jackson, Mississippi, they've made an arrest. They found a bunch of marijuana. They found guns at the Capitol in a parked car. That was a big story yesterday as they made an arrest on that. 2 digital scales, 10 millimeters, a Glock handgun. All crammed in a backpack there. They check those things in those areas. As we look at this, and we have so much to learn about this, and as we mentioned, one of the latest cases of this monkeypox was discovered down Hattiesburg way. We do have 7 cases in the state. This is growing nationwide as we learn more and more about all of this. It's over 6,000, almost 7,000 cases nationwide. What will the CDC do? Will they start planning this to be our next epidemic. I hope not. We don't understand all of this. It's dangerous, I know that, and it doesn't look like it would feel good. Copiah County, we have 2 people that have died in an accident that happened there. Condolences to their families. We look at headlines across the state. Do you remember us talking about the 4 inmates that escaped? Do y'all remember that? Alcorn County is where that went on. They've arrested 3 people because it never added up how 3 inmates could cut a hole in the roof of a jail and escape. They've arrested 3 for helping. Rump row. I don't know what the time is that you get for that, but it's not good. Do y'all remember a few months back, Jellystone Park over in Pelahatchie where Yogi Bear was stolen? Do y'all remember that? I think it was a prank, and they ended up getting Yogi back. But kudos to them as they're named the #1 RV park in the country by USA Today. Now, isn't that something? USA Today, naming a little place here in Mississippi #1 RV park. Congratulations to them. That's a big deal. You have to brag about that for a little while. Mississippi making a good list. I'm proud of that. As we look at some more headlines nationwide, we see the homeless problem. We've watched this in California and other cities to where they have encampments, where it starts out with a few and they come in and they start sitting on park benches, and the next thing you know, there's tents and there's housing. And then things just increasingly get worse. We've seen it to where robberies are increased everywhere these are. Los Angeles, they had a vote yesterday, city council, where they were going to expand this to where these encampments can't be near schools or preschools or daycares. And that's a good thing because you don't know who are in these. It could be criminals, it could be rapists, it could be anybody in this. It's just a mix of everyone. Protesters broke up the meeting there trying to stop it. It's for the safety of children. I'm just saying, thought I'd bring that up. Donald Trump is back in New York as he goes to Trump Tower after the raid there. I'm hearing that they've torn that place apart. As I mentioned earlier, we'll get deeper into that and everybody of what is going on. Trump again wins last night. How? We go to Wisconsin. The person that he backed for governor has won. They'll face off a Democrat when it comes in the November. Mike Pence had picked a candidate. Trump had picked a candidate. As we all know, Trump's candidate won. And if the Republican Party has not figured out that he's still in charge, they need to think again. That's the case there. And I don't think anybody thinks Mike Pence is a bad guy. He seems to be a pretty good old boy, a Christian fellow with great values. He just doesn't mesh well with Trump, and most agree that he wouldn't be a good president. At least that's what the polls show. Trump's still at the top of all of that. I do not think for one moment that he would be chosen as his running mate again. Do y'all? So we'll watch all these stories and have more following up on this here in just a little bit as we get the day started. Lots more going on in our community, and we'll talk deeper into that beginning at 8 a.m. We do invite you back for that. We got weather, a lot of weather to discuss next. Don't rush off. We'll tell you all about what's going on in our little community next.
One of the most important places to you is your home. That's why Patrick Allen Companies is proud to provide style, functionality, and security to your home. There's nothing quite like a well-designed overhead garage door or vinyl replacement windows, or the safety of a storm shelter to help your family feel protected. Patrick Allen offers doors and windows for commercial and industrial with dozens of innovative designs. Patrick Allen Companies, safety, service, and satisfaction.
Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, and as we look at comments, good morning from Nebraska. Shelley Bounds joining us there. Barbara Smith, how are you today? As we look at all this, we really have no clue who will be the face-off in 24, the Republican side and the Democrat side, who will run for president. Joe keeps saying that he will run, but there's many, many Democrats that say they will not back him. We even heard yesterday that rumors of Newsom, the governor of California, could be their pick. Not so sure about that. So a lot of changes in between now and then of who will be there. It will most likely be announced who's running on both sides after the midterms. Everybody's going to wait for the smoke to settle after those midterm elections are, and then candidates from both sides will be chosen. And trust me on this, and y'all know this, it will be a hard 2 years. it will be in the news every day, pounding the other party, trying to make the other one look bad. So be prepared. It's going to be a blitz for the next 2 years after these midterms. That's what you're going to hear. Whew. See, Clarence says Pence is a rhino. A lot of people agree with you on that. Laura, going back on some comments that we made earlier there, she says, wash your hands constantly. That's always a good idea, as COVID is still out there. I even saw, I've got it written down, I don't have it in front of me, where they've come up with something else that they've discovered in China. I got that written down for this morning at 8 o'clock to discuss. Whew. Barney left the keys in the patrol car. That's probably what happened as we were talking about the car that was stolen in Mississippi there. Good morning to Antonio Dixon. How are you, my friend? Hope you're doing well today. Joy Subtle is up. Steve Wanda McKinnon. Sandra, how are you doing? Nice, crisp 59 degrees in Iowa. Ooh, I bet that's pretty. Mississippi River is beautiful this morning. I bet so. Send us a picture of that. We'd love to share that for everybody else to see your view this morning. Always interesting to see where you are and where you've been. A few of us sometimes can't leave. You're kind of stuck where you are. You can't take off away from work. And it's a nice glimpse into America to see what others are seeing there. All right, let's get deeper into our forecast now and let you know what's happening as we begin our day.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Big thank you to our friends at EMEPA. As we look at this forecast, back in 2007, we had 103 degrees today. That was a hot one. Our coolest, I was in first grade, 1976. It was a low of 57 today. Actually, that was the high, but it was a cool 57 degrees. That's hard to believe, 1976. Bicentennial year. Showers are expected today as we pull this back up. Now, as we see this, there could be locally flooding that happens. 87, cooler as we get up toward Philadelphia, and we go right up through Noxapater all the way to Winston. We get up here near Louisville, 87 for y'all. Mississippi State will hold at that. South of us, Hattiesburg, and these areas about 88, Brookhaven 85. But rain, it will. Most of this will occur this afternoon after 2 as we'll get deeper into the forecast. As we glance across Alabama, warmer in Demopolis, 90. And we'll see about 89 degrees there in Livingston and those areas around Epps, Alabama. Troy, out to the east there, 91. As we look at this is what I was talking about with locally heavy flooding. Anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of rain is possible in a 3-hour period is what the national forecast is telling us out of Jackson. Flash flooding, y'all be careful and don't drive through it. And this will happen through 7 p.m. tonight. Again, most likely after 2 o'clock, 2 to 7, that 5-hour window there. We'll be here to go live and walk you through it street by street. If it gets near your home and gets bad, we'll let you know exactly what's happening. As we glance at our 6 to 10-day outlook on temperatures, cooler right now in the state of Mississippi. As we will see, it will warm up a tad. But out here to the west, California is building a heat wave that will move back our way within a 2-week period. As we glance at today's forecast, here we go. As I mentioned, today it's going to be wet. Showers and thunderstorms after 2 o'clock, 70% chance of this, 89 for the high. We don't even have to fool with a heat index today since there's so much rain. As we get into tonight, 50% chance of rain, and it should end by 1 o'clock. Low right around 71. By tomorrow, more rain back in the forecast, 70% chance, and it will come back into the forecast after 1 o'clock tomorrow. A little bit quicker than today. As we move into the weekend, Friday, 50% chance to end the week. And again, it will be an afternoon shower right after 1 o'clock. Expect that. Now, as we go into the weekend, rain chances have upped a little bit. Originally, we had a 20 and a 10. It's gone up 10% on each day. Saturday at 30%. That's still not a whole lot. And it's not that much on Sunday either. So chances are you'll still be able to do a few things on the outside as we move into the weekend. Still rain chances hovering as we begin the work week again, and we go in this 2-week outlook here. Look at the highs here. We're not high at all. We're staying right around that 89 to 90 degree mark for the next 10 days. That is really, really good as we go all the way to August the 24th. Whew, but rain chances every day there. Not bad for August at all. As we look at what's going on with the National Hurricane Center, there's lots of talk about this. Now, we were sitting at a 40% chance of this storm becoming something as we take a look at the Atlantic this morning. This is decreasing now. This is down to a 30% chance. Most likely, everything I read and have studied, by the time it gets here, it will start to break up. It's Mother Nature. It could hold together, but everything indicates that this will not form and this will come apart once it reaches over here a little bit further northwest. Next week, I already talk about more developing here. We're starting to see more, and it may be a whole different story as we move into the latter part of next week as we watch storms. I'll always be here to tell you about these hurricanes that could happen. What's going to happen with the fishing? As we go to Chet's Paint and Body today, a great time will be, well, let's see here, right after lunch. 12 o'clock today to 2 p.m., right before that rain hits, we should have the fishing great. Always good to go after work. You can't beat that if it's not raining too bad. That's a quick look around at everything. And before we go, let's pull this up on radar. Let me show you what we've got here this morning as we glance back at Meridian Honda radar. We got a bunch of fog up here in the east as we look around Johnson City. Let's turn this on and let you see what severe weather has looked like today. And again, we're going to have rain as we turn on our storm predictions. See, this is not even a level 1. This is just showing that we're going to get rain. It's going to be all the way to Richmond, Norfolk, Virginia for it to be severe weather. We're just going to have some locally flooding from time to time. And it remains this as we look at this over the next, let's look at tomorrow. No change there and no change 3 days out from now. So Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana area looking good when it comes to the forecast. So quickly, the morning is flying. We're right at the top of the hour. Again, we'll be back in an hour and 2 minutes from now. We'll go live and let you know what's going on in our community. Won't you join us? It's all about you, and we do appreciate the comments, and a good morning to everybody. Hope your morning is feeling good there. We'll see you back in just a little bit here at the Scotty Ray Report. Thank y'all so much.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: